Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem-Pittsburgh studios. And now here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
Well, good afternoon. Greetings. We're doing pre-show vocal warm-ups here.
So you spend a lot of your life doing vocal warm-ups before acting.
Yep.
And I spent a lot of time doing vocal warm-ups before singing.
Zzz.
And if you've never done vocal warm-ups, nothing sounds dumber to the onlooker.
Or looks more ridiculous.
It really does. I do. When I have to sing in church, I warm up in the car on my way there. And every single time. I'm just over it. People look at me like...
You're over it?
Yeah, I'm just over it because I don't even care what people think anymore.
No, of course.
It looks
right,
ridiculous.
No, yeah,
It looks absolutely
It still makes me laugh.
crazy. I know.
Right? I mean, it's just funny.
Because it's just silly.
But the end product, it always feels good.
It does feel good.
Doesn't it?
And when you don't do it, it's like a shocking difference. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we decided to launch into that at the beginning of the Wednesday edition of the show.
Well, you can tell the difference. I mean, it's very crisp.
Yeah.
My T's are very
We could be
exact.
talking about O'Neill Cruz. We could be talking about
That's fine.
the other new guy who hit the home run last night.
Belisky.
That's
I
not his
don't know.
name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bly.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, I went to lunch at Eaton Park today. When's the last time you were at Eaton Park?
Wow. The last time I was at Eaton Park, I was sick and I got soup at the drive-thru. Chicken noodle soup at the drive-thru.
So you weren't in Eaton Park
No.
proper.
I haven't been
Yeah.
inside.
Since the pandemic?
No.
Really? Oh, it's a long time.
Yeah.
I was down at the waterfront there having some Eaton Park.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
that good?
That was excellent.
Oh,
Yeah.
people-
Prices are up. Prices are up.
everywhere
But, that's
are
how it
up.
is. Our little the check came like, oh, Eaton Park has moved on. Yeah, but it's just what it is. But it was good. It was good to be out. It was good to be around people. Our favorite waiter, Lamar, down there.
I'm so glad he landed there. That's great.
Yeah, he was a byproduct of the Squirrel Hill store closing, the Eaton Park closing.
Which was a shock to a lot of us.
But Lamar's a good guy, and
Good.
anyway, just happy to be out. Happy to have lunch with friends.
It's always good.
Yeah.
It really is. And then you were at the ball game last night.
Yes, I was.
That must have been a beautiful night.
Excellent evening. A hot one.
Yeah.
But, once the sun started to,
Who
push
cares?
away, we sat in the shade from the get-go, as a matter of fact, so it was fine. Great evening. Pirates look really good.
Which is I feel like I'm having a weird dream.
for me to say that. But a night at the ballpark is always,
It's so good. Did you have a snack?
you know what? All I had was a Coke.
That's weird.
I just didn't really care about it. It was a little too hot to eat.
Yeah.
My friend was like, I'm going to get a hot dog. I was like, I'll just have a Coke. And we just sat there.
And you didn't even have
Nothing.
peanuts?
No. And then
How do you have? I don't think I've ever gone to a ball game without peanuts.
Well, it was kind of like one of those, like a bag of peanuts was like $6. And I went to Giant Eagle earlier.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a bag.
Really?
Yeah. But when I got home, there was a bag of peanuts in the kitchen cupboard.
Oh, great. So, but you eating them at home is not the same
No, it's
thing.
not. No. But I did miss the bag of peanuts.
Yeah, that's a real disappointment.
But
We've gone to a lot of baseball games with Tom Lewis.
Tommy, we've been to a few games with you, haven't we? Down the third baseline we've been. Those are our
Usually
favorite
a
seats.
Hot dog for me, though.
Is it always a hot dog?
Dogs.
Yeah.
Well, almost always.
Well, last night my friend said, I'm going to get a hot dog with sauerkraut.
Oh, on a night like that, that's disgusting.
I said, oh, it's not happening. He said, what do you mean? I said, sauerkraut's gone from the ballpark.
Oh, it is?
Oh, yeah. Essentially, I'm sure. I mean, it's a pandemic stew. So because, you used to go to that little cart in the middle of the concourse where they had like
Onion.
the peppers, the
Right.
onions. That's no longer exists. Now it's everything little self-serve mustard pack, relish pack, ketchup pack.
So there's no more pumping?
No, it's gone. So anything like sauerkraut, onions, all that, never going to find at the ballpark again. Because it holds pandemic, whatever.
That's so depressing. Wow.
I tried to eat a hot dog with my mask on. Did not end well.
Oh, that's just horrible. Get out of here.
Anyway, Tom Lewis with us. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, buddy?
Entertained at the moment.
Good. That's what we're going for, Tom.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Hey, welcome. I'm welcoming me. Oh, how does that work?
You're very polite.
Hey, we're excited today. A lot of friends have been calling. Can I just real quick thank some friends?
Yeah.
And we'll jump into what we're doing.
Thanking them.
Some friends that have been rescuing children this afternoon that we've not been able to thank yet at this point, so I do want to do that. I want to say thanks to, looks like Jeff And he gave for 2 kids.
Fabulous.
I want to thank Betty in Pittsburgh giving for a child, and Debbie in Cranberry Township also jumping in there this afternoon. Erwin in Pittsburgh jumping in, and also Caleb in Pittsburgh, all rescuing children this afternoon. So officially wanted to say thank you to those children that have been rescued through those dear friends, and you can do it too. Now we're talking about kiddos in the nations of Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua that are suffering from serious malnutrition, chronic malnutrition, that our partners through Cross International have identified on the ground as being the most critical need children. Now, for this week, guys, we're asking the Lord to provide for 500 children. And some of you listening, you're swallowing hard and going, whoa, you know what? If 100 of you right now decided that you were going to give a gift of $192, 300 of those children would be taken care of instantly. And that's why it's so easy to do when all of us do something. And so you might be saying, well, I could rescue one for $64. Thank you. That's what many have done. Many friends today and yesterday were jumping in with 2 and 3 children. A couple of friends today giving for families of 5. So thank you. Whatever level you can get in, I always like to say, get in where you fit in, right?
Yep.
Get in where you fit in. And it is a one-time gift, of course, tax deductible. Now, your gift for $64 provides food for a full year. Spiritual development, Christian education, some other life-saving resources. Often those resources involve medications and health care for some of the kids that really, really need it. Simple things, guys, like cuts and, open wounds that they have no ability to take care of. And so there's a lot of things that are needed. But $64 covers all of that and opens the door, John and Kath, for what I love the most, Christian education, and an opportunity to get them into school, walk through the schoolyard gate for most of them the very first time.
Fabulous.
Something they so desperately want. So I'm really excited about this, and hopefully this hour, we'd love to rescue 20 kids by the bottom of the hour. Can we do that?
Here it is. It's 4:12. So we've got about 18 minutes. We're saying a child a minute. Can you do that? Won't you join us right now? 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. Of course, online at wordfm.com. The ask is very, very simple. Cross International has been with us for a long time here on the ride home, and we know and love the ministry deeply. We've traveled with them. We see the work that they do. Tom Lewis, who is with us today, is essentially the eyes and the ears of Cross International. He's been on the ground in Haiti and Zimbabwe and in Nicaragua, Guatemala. He has seen the excellent work and reports on the work that's being done. So with this one-time ask of $64, what that $64 does is puts a child in a quality Christian school. I've seen these schools. I've been part of these schools. They also feed the child a meal a day at this Christian school. This is really the heart of all that's being asked. $64 is what that takes for an entire year. $64. 866-806-2977. Now, Tommy, we're going to break here in a minute, but I thought about you because the aforementioned, I went to lunch today. I took a friend to lunch. We went to a local place, which has been around here in Western Pennsylvania for many, many decades. It's kind of like the go-to place. It's called Eaton Park. I had a chicken wrap and some fries and an iced tea. My friend had a salad and an iced tea. Our bill came to $32. With a tip on top of that, it was about $39 I spent.
Wow.
So for one meal, I almost came close to that $64, which made me think of you feeding a child, educating a child with just one lunch out.
Sure.
Our ask is simple.
It's easy. It's just easy.
Super easy
to do. You know, we go out and we do it, right? We spend it.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
Okay, we're not. You know, we're not against that, of course.
Hungry to be out, right?
We just, you know, just in comparison, though, right? That investment that we can make into the life of a child, that without your help, my friend, we'll never have that opportunity.
Exactly.
We'll never have that opportunity. So please jump on the phone with us and let's see if we can rescue those 20 kids real quick in this first half hour.
Outstanding. We're going to step away for just a minute, but please think about this, pray about it, and then join us. Do something to save alter children's lives for the better forever. 866-806-2977.
101.5 WORD.
Summer's just getting started, but Word FM is already talking about heading back to school.
Back to school!
If you've ever considered sending your child to a Christian school, but the cost was holding you back, check out the WORD half-price tuition deals now at wordfm.com. Send your child to a school that's teaching them the same values you're teaching at home for the full year, but only pay for half. See the complete list of schools now at wordfm.com/tuitions.
So my sister and I,
that's me,
are into dominoes. There's this fancy domino TV show, and we are destined to be on that show.
Uncle Ryan, though,
that's me,
has a hand that shakes like a jackhammer.
The dude can't get 10 dominoes
before his dreams come toppling down.
Luckily, there was one positive that came from my domino disaster. I'm about to use it as an analogy in our mortgage commercial. Buying a home right now can be hard. Bidding wars, lack of inventory, rates going up and down. It's easy to have your new home dreams toppled. At United Faith Mortgage, we can't easily fix those hurdles, but we are good at making the mortgage part awesome. We pay $1,000 of your closing costs on new home purchases. And we're an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender. Our company uses its own money and there's no middleman, which often allows us to get you a better rate, saving monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Mortgage Corp, Melville, New York. MLS number 1330. Department of Banking. Mortgage Lender License number 22672.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Parents are an extremely important part of their child's education.
Kara Bell, principal at Jubilee Christian School in Mount Lebanon.
We try to partner with parents and try to instill values that the parents want as well. We love to have parents come in and volunteer for activities, for recess, for lunch, to help out in the classrooms. Field experiences once a month. We try to team so that we can meet the child's needs.
Imagine, believe, achieve. Jubilee Christian School, K through 7th grade, now enrolling for the fall at jubileecs.org.
One of the main threads of vision that we have at Cross International for the future is working with children and their families and their communities through a new initiative we call Thriving Kids. And we look at that and say, gosh, what is it that for kids to thrive in the future? The three main things that are so important are, one, that they have a stable family life, stable home. Second, they have a stable community around them that's supporting them. And third, that they've got a stable and a strong faith life. Those three things are as important in my home and your home as it is equally in the household of a family in a developing country.
Amen to that, right? I mean, we talk about this often. The family is the centerpiece of what it is to thrive. It is.
Yep.
And of course, we're not trying to, disparage anybody who's single or whatnot, but the mother and the father and the children in place, especially with the other generations around them, it's the centerpiece. It's historical. That's how the world has operated since people have walked this earth. That's the truth. And so this ministry trying to keep the family together in the midst of dire circumstances to help families rise out of poverty, to be able to take care of themselves, to lay their head down at night and think, tomorrow's going to be a good day because I've got control of something here and we're going to make something happen. And in a short order, our children will not have to struggle and work so brutally difficult like I've had to do, like my parents have had to do. We're not saying free pass. We're saying giving people an opportunity to care for themselves. Isn't that all of our dream, all of our hope for our children?
I remember being in Guatemala, John. I'm sure I've told you this story before, but we were talking to a woman who was probably in her 40s, and I had met her daughter just a few moments earlier, who was probably 17 years old or something like that. And I was interviewing her, the mom, through an interpreter. And she started to cry. And I asked her why she was crying. And she said, because I'm so desperate for my daughter not to turn out like me. And her mother was, I said, what are you talking about? You're a beautiful woman. You're a talented woman. And she said, you don't know what I've been through. And so that longing to have, you know what I mean? To have your child
do better, have
something better,
succeed, whatever that looks like.
Right. And in her mind, in the mom's mind, all that had been stacked against her was coming out as her fault. Like somehow she had done something wrong for all of that.
And you could understand that as a parent.
Right.
That somehow you failed.
Yep.
Right? My child has not succeeded. It's my fault.
But after I'd spent 3 days in their community, it was a lot. There was just an unbelievable lack of opportunity there. So it wasn't like, it wasn't a matter of not trying. It wasn't a matter of not lazy. It was a matter of not having a chance. But the organization was giving her daughter a chance. It was giving her a chance. And that's what we're talking about today, is just giving kids a chance.
The opportunity.
You're not going to rescue a kid forever. That it's going to be up to that kid ultimately when they're an adult. But
here's a shot.
This is a moment to step in, right?
Yep. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. Please join us. Here it is. It's 421. Our hope was that we would have 20 kids taken care of for a full year at $64 for the year right now. At the bottom of the hour, can we do this? Can you get on your phone and join us? We love Cross International, the excellence of their work that they've been doing for many, many decades. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, their lives have been changed because of this. We're not just saying, here's some welfare, here's a little sort of, thing that you just, here, it's a pass. What we're saying here, and what Kath is saying is, you see something, you just want to give somebody a shot. I think that's everybody's just looking for a shot, an opportunity.
Yes.
Right? And more often, you know how the world works. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And people in these situations, who do they know? They don't know anybody. You know what they know? They know more poor people. That's what they're surrounded by, more poverty. So they need somebody to come in who you know, Cross International, to give them a shot in the arm and just help them lift themselves up. That's all. Otherwise, it just goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. Not that they're lazy, not that they're disconnected, not that they're not wanting to be better. No, they're just stuck. Yeah. It's a never-ending wheel of a hamster just running around. Please won't you join us? WordFM.com or 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. One-time gift of $64. Tommy?
All right, so we had our first friend of the phone, guys.
Fabulous.
How about that?
Excellent.
Big hand clap for Loretta.
Thank you, Loretta.
Jeanette,
Thank you, Loretta.
Checking in with 2 children.
Excellent.
All right, so we're off and running. Let's rescue 18 more real quick by the bottom of the hour. Literally rescuing. I love what you guys are sharing, and it is giving kids a chance. All they need is a chance and somebody to stand up for them. I love that verse in Proverbs. You guys know it well as I do. To stand up for those who cannot stand for themselves, the poor and the destitute of this world. And it's not an option as you look at Scripture. I mean, that is a command to stand up for those who cannot stand for themselves. But will we? Will we? And I think sometimes we get busy, we get wrapped up in our day, and we get kind of thinking about, well, I feel like I should, but, something might happen at the end of the month, and I might be a little short. And, I mean, we need to trust the Lord in this walk, right?
Yes.
And so I just encourage you. Anytime I have given money or pledged money for a ministry cause, I have never fallen short on any other need. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm just telling you, that's been my life experience. Never have I ever fallen short on something else that was a need that I had to fulfill. That's a good God, right? That is a faithful God. And I would just urge you that today, maybe this is a step of faith for you to say yes to 64 or 128 like our friend just did. Maybe for somebody else listening, you have been blessed, and literally God has blessed you in your resources, and you could right now rescue 50 children with a $3,200 gift. We've had 2 of our world changers in this campaign, guys, $1,000 gift or more. We've already had 2 of them. So we're looking for 10 more friends, and basically, let me boil it down for you. That's 16 or more children with your one-time tax-deductible gift. So let me give you the number. It's 866-806-2977. Looking at the clock, oh my goodness, we've got about 5 minutes here before the bottom of the hour. Probably going to another break very soon. 866-806-2977. Let's see if we can rescue 18 more beautiful children there in Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua. And guys, really, really thank you for what you're doing. Remember, again, your gift feeds them for a full year, Christian education, spiritual development. As you guys were sharing about food, and I was thinking about an orphanage that we visited, Togetherness in Christ is the name of the orphanage. And we were there, and they have about 200 kids in there. And they were getting ready to eat lunch. And I won't forget the orphanage director shared with us that when the kids get ready to eat, they wait till all the kids are served. So they don't go through the line, get their food, sit down, and start eating. They sat at tables, and they waited until all the kids were served. Then they stood to pray. And the orphanage director asked this one boy, he looked to be 7 or so, maybe 8, to pray over the food. He begins to pray this impassioned prayer in Creole. And, of course, we couldn't understand, so we asked him, what did he pray? And he said, well, God, thank you for, and the word was bounty. Thank you for the bounty that you've set before us. And, Lord, he went on to pray, bless the children that are outside the walls of our home that have no food today. The heart of these children, guys, is beautiful. They are not selfish hearts. They are giving hearts. And the things that we have witnessed, where children have sacrificed so others could eat or others could be served first, so that others could go ahead of them in line, no pushing, no shoving, but literally older kids letting little kids in front of them to be served first. Those are beautiful hearts. Beautiful. Those are the kids that you're helping. Would you serve the next 18 in line at 866-806-2977? Credit card is an easy way to give. Your resources go to work immediately through Cross International. 866-806-2977. WordFM.com is another great way to give on the web. Had a few people giving there, and you can join those friends as well. I love, John and Kathy, the idea of giving in honor of your own children, maybe your own grandchildren, and saying, you know what, they've never missed a meal. I want to give in their honor and see to it that 3, 4, 5 children are helped in honor of our kids. And you know what? Wouldn't it be great if you give us their names? We'd love to give them a shout out on the air. And if you'd like to do that, we'd be honored to do that. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. WordFM.com. When we come back from the break, we're going to hear from Kelly Miller, because I know a lot of you, before you make a gift, You want to know about the financial integrity of the ministry. And we're going to have Kelly Miller, president of Cross International, share about that when we come back. But in the meantime, 866-806-2977.
As Tommy says, we're going to step away for just a minute, but in the meantime, go to your phones and join us with this excellent ministry, Cross International, 866-806-2977.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
If you can fix the big stuff, you can fix the small stuff. The Mechanical Services Company has fixed HVAC systems large and small for over 100 years. For fair treatment, expert service, and affordable solutions 24/7, 365. Find them online at tmschvac.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
The word around town is that Pittsburgh homeowners are choosing doing it right when it comes to their roofing, siding, and remodeling projects.
That's because since 1984, Doing It Right roofing, siding, remodeling continues to set the bar through clear communication and an installation that's second to none.
Doing It Right employs only the most experienced professionals to install and oversee your project.
They'll stop at nothing to ensure your satisfaction, doing business honestly, taking no money down and no payment until the job is complete.
Doing It Right will ensure all work is installed to the industry's highest standards, then back it all up with their lifetime workmanship warranty.
As a prestigious multi-award-winning Owens Corning Platinum contractor, as well as a VSI-certified installation contractor, you can't go wrong with Doing It Right.
Mention John and Kathy for a discount off your estimate.
Call 724-NEW-ROOF for a free project evaluation or visit roofingcontractorpittsburgh.com.
Want it done right, call Doing It Right. Windows are us. You've tried the rest, now try the best.
When it's time to replace your roof, siding, gutters, and downspouts, entry doors, and of course windows, you can count on Windows R Us, the area's premier exterior replacement company. This is John Steigerwald. With over 50 years experience in the home remodeling industry, Windows R Us offers repair and replacement for all your exterior home projects. Why pay double with some other companies? Windows R Us will always give you the best price on the best in-class products, backed by the best warranties in the industry, all with zero sales pressure. And speaking of zero, right now get zero interest financing for 12 months and no processing fee with prices set to increase on all exterior products. Lock in your quote today. Schedule a free estimate and inspection today at windowsruspittsburgh.com. You've tried the rest, now try the best. windowsruspittsburgh.com.
Windows are us. You've tried the rest, now try the best.
At Napa, when it comes to serving you, their motor never quits. From curbside and next day delivery on over 160,000 auto parts to getting involved with the local communities. That's Napa know-how.
101.5 WORD-FM Pittsburgh. On your smart speaker by saying, play the word Pittsburgh. And on your phone via the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
Expect a heavy thunderstorm early this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and humid tonight. Watch for flooding on streets and poor drainage areas. Tonight's low 63. Partly sunny tomorrow, not as warm with lower humidity. Tomorrow's high 80. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 58. Mostly sunny Friday. We'll reach a high Friday of 28. For Saturday, it'll be warm with sunshine at a high of 88. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
It's so important that the funds that we use are utilized correctly in the work that we do, that we monitor and we evaluate the projects that we have out in the field with our partners there, and that indeed the money is being used in ways that they were both presented to donors and intended in the field. And it's just incredibly important for us that we report back to the donors what it is that their money's doing, and they can see that and they can feel it and it's tangible in their lives. So that whole reporting aspect of shedding light on, hey, thank you for your gift, but this is what your gift did, and we want to be able to make sure that you understand that and see that.
Well, that's really valuable. This is what your gift did, and it's so incredibly valuable that you see this, right? Because like everybody, you give out of compassion and love for Jesus and empathy, and then you kind of go, well, I hope it's doing some good, right? You don't really know.
Right.
Tommy?
I want to give you the phone number. We've got some thank yous. 866-806-2977. We had a little quick challenge for 20 kids to be rescued by the bottom of the hour. Do want to say thank you to Loretta and Jeanette rescuing our first two. Deborah jumped in there from McKees Rocks.
Nice.
Thank you. And rescued 3 kids and added an additional gift for Ukraine. Ginger, thank you in Pittsburgh. She said yes to 10 children.
Whoa.
You guys.
Oh, wow.
Everybody, so
Thank you,
cool.
Thank you. Jill, thank you in Pittsburgh. Jumped in there and rescued a child. And I see your prayer request there. It's funny, I got the same thing going on. So I'm in the boat rowing with you there, Jill. Thank you. Really appreciate your gift for one child and an additional gift for Ukraine. So last half hour, 16 children rescued so far.
Wow, great.
Now, what we'd like to do, guys, is pick up the remaining 4 from that and add 20 more. So 24 by the top of the hour. Now, what I love about this challenge is this. 8 of you, just 8 friends, giving a $192 gift to see to it that 3 children are lifted up, given a chance, fed for the next year, walk through the schoolyard gate of a Christian school to a Christian education. And by the way, academics at a very high level. I shared, I think, yesterday with John and Kath with you guys that the children that are attending Divine Shelter schools, and they are one of our key Christian school partners, they are tested at the end of 8th grade. They're testing the highest of any kids in the entire nation of Haiti.
Whoa.
Above any other school. They are testing at the highest level. And it is amazing the things that they're learning. Kath, let me give you the number, and I want to share the story. The number again, 866-806-2977. Again, quick challenge to the top of the hour to rescue 24 more children. Oh, I had another friend jump in with another one, guys. There's Sandra in Oakland, Maryland.
Thank you.
Checking in with a gift for one child. So thank you so much for that gift. 866-806-2977 or wordfm.com. But, Kath, you were sharing, and we often will do home visits. And, John, I'm trying to remember if when we were together, we did a home visit.
We did,
not?
yeah. Which I think about often.
Yeah, and one of the visits we went on, I'll never forget this. The little boy that was in Divine Shelter School was so excited to bring us to his home and meet his mother. And so we walked we walked almost an hour to this little guy's house. I mean, it's like, whenever you ask a Haitian, how much further is it, they have the same answer every time. Almost there. Almost there. And we're like, really? It'll be 30 minutes. Almost there. 45 minutes. Almost there. Finally. About an hour. We get there, right? And what we saw, honestly, guys, it was really, wow. It was mind-blowing. We saw a mom living in a little kind of a ramshackle hut, smaller than a garden shed. She had nothing. She had no possessions. There was a little fire pit kind of thing in the middle of it. There was a metal pot that was sitting by the fire. We looked around. There was no bed. There was no mattress. There was a raggedy kind of a blanket. And we found out that she had to rent this place. She had to rent this place. And we began to have this conversation with her. How does she make it? And she explained that she tried to do things, just kind of around the village there to, little jobs and so forth, just to make some kind of money. And her son was in Divine Shelter Christian School, but she had 2 other little ones there with her. And so in talking with her, she was so excited that her little boy got to go to school. He had a uniform. I mean, he looked great. I mean, it was amazing. He was about 2nd grade. And so in this conversation with an interpreter, we asked her, how can we pray for you? how can we best pray for you? And Kath, when you shared your story, this hit me because this is what she said. She said, I ask you to pray for me that my other 2 children don't end up like me. I pray that they'll have an opportunity to go to school and that they will learn to read and write. Because you see, she couldn't even write her name. And she says, I don't want them to end up like me. The heart of this mother was just amazing. You see, guys, there is such a critical need. The hearts of these moms and dads are just like yours and mine. They want their kids to thrive, but don't have the ability. And so I just urge you to pick up the phone and let's come together as a body of Christ. Let's help these children thrive and give them the food they need so that they can then begin to learn and go to school and study the Word of God. Yes, academics as well. And have that life-changing impact. That you get started with a 2-minute phone call. The number is 866-806-2977. You're giving them an incredible chance. 866-806-2977, or John and Kath right there on the web, wordfm.com.
Fabulous. That's well said, Tommy. We're just looking for an opportunity for these kids. That's all. Everybody coming into this world needs a little help up. That's all. And so today, that's our job. Help those. 866-806-2977. Of course, online at wordfm.com. $64. Educates a child, feeds a child. Join us.
101.5 WORD.
Okay, everybody in the car.
Where are we going, Daddy?
On an adventure.
Yay!
Adventures in Odyssey. It's not just a kid's show, it's a show the whole family can enjoy. Listen on this station.
Adventures in Odyssey, tonight at 8 on 101.5 Word FM, WORD.
Inflation throughout the nation. From a gallon of milk to a gallon of gas, prices are skyrocketing. But the cost for term life insurance is actually going down. That's why you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider. Big Lou's mission is to protect you with term life insurance that you can afford, even in times of inflation. Take Jeff from Florida. He's 55, 6 feet, 300 pounds, and his diabetes control was not perfect. Another provider quoted him $500,000 of 20-year term at almost $500 per month. Big Lou found Jeff the same life insurance policy for $225 a month, a 50% savings. Even if you're struggling with health issues, call Big Lou at Term Provider. Heck, you might not even need an exam to get approved. For affordable term life insurance today, call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. That's 800-333-1750. Term life insurance rates are going down. Call 800-333-1750 or biglou.com.
The most beautiful things in life start small, from a single seed. At Bedner's Farm and Greenhouse, with the aid of warm sun, fertile soil, and expert hands, those seeds blossom into gardens of fresh produce, delicious wines, and beautiful landscapes. Here at Bedner's Thriving Family Farm and Garden Center, you'll find everything you need to inspire your own homegrown happiness. Bedner's Farm and Greenhouse in McDonald, making the world beautiful since 1917 at bednersgreenhouse.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-894-9190 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-894-9190. That's 800-894-9190. What do you have to lose? Call 800-894-9190. Again, 800-894-9190.
fabulous. That
like
sounds like
that.
a party, huh? What's going on there, Tommy?
I didn't see you doing the motions to deep and wide. Come on.
John's
you guys know
John's
that?
a stick in the mud when it comes to the motions.
You remember him, right, John?
You
remember the deep and wide? I mean, there's a fountain flowing, right?
No, I can't say I do.
You don't know that one.
Oh,
no,
my
he.
gosh.
Yeah.
No, I left the room.
He didn't.
I
He
knew
didn't
there
grow
was
up in the
something
evangelical subculture like us, Tom.
No, I did not.
Oh my goodness, we'll have to train you in the way of deep and wide. But yeah, those are kids right there at Divine Shelter School. You could tell they were enthusiastic, and so was the head schoolmaster, by the way, singing deep and wide. And we'll hear more from them coming up. Hey, thank you so much for your calls and your gifts to Cross International right now at 866-806-2977. Want to thank a couple of new friends jumping in there with us. Now, remember, our challenge goal here by the top of the hour is to rescue 24 more. And Sandra led the way. She said, I want to rescue one. Kelvin jumped in from Pittsburgh. Hey, Kelvin, thank you.
Fabulous.
With a $64 gift for one. Sharon, thank you, in Rural Valley. Oh, wow, first time today. In fact, this week from Rural Valley. And so thank you. We're 3 along the way. We've got 21 to go. 7 friends, real quick, giving a gift for 3 kids, and we'd be there. Let me give you the number, and then I want to share just a quick story with you. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. Hey, guys, you know what? When you pray, the Lord will lay on your heart what he wants you to do. Whether it's one child or 2 or 10 or 50 or 100, whatever it may be. And I would just say do it. It's that gentle nudge that you sense when you're praying. You'll know, and the number that he lays on your heart's the right number. So for some of you, it might be for one child. Many of you, it could be for 2 or 3 or a family of 5. So whatever it is, thank you in advance for doing it. 866-806-2977. I love talking about one of our dear partners in an area of Haiti called Go Naive. And John and Kathy, you'll recognize Emery's name. Emery and Mary serving in this very difficult area. And, you know, it was just, it was shocking when we got there because we were warned in advance this was a really tough area. In fact, they told us, you know, a lot of the kids don't even have clothes. Some of them might have a little pair of shorts, or some of them might have a little T-shirt, but they said don't be surprised because these are kids, for the most part, that are orphans, and for the most part they've been left and kicked aside. And that was, you know, that was a tough thing for me to see, honestly. When you pull up into an area where there's hundreds of kids, and the desperation that's there, the desperation, the fear that's there, that someone's going to hurt them. Just the unknowing from day to day, are we going to be able to eat today? Where are we going to sleep tonight? And I said to Emery, Emery, where do they sleep? There were no huts. He said, see those bushes over there? They'll curl up under those bushes. And there were other spots where they could find some kind of little bit of a shelter. And Emery, God bless him, and his wife brought food every day, hot food for as many kids as they could. Before we went to Go Naive, we had an opportunity to eat just a quick bite with them in their home. And I asked Emery just, you know, to share just a little bit. And I want you to listen to what he shared in that setting. Emery is this guy that you got to get a picture of him. He's this big burly guy. He wears a do-rag, and I mean he's strong, and he's you know, if you saw him, he'd half scare you. You know, he's a big guy, and yet when I turned on the microphone, wait till you hear what he shared next. Here he is.
You know, I cannot imagine what it will be like for my children not to have food. I can't imagine, because I was born in a world and a place where I never had to worry about that. All the time that my children were in my home, I never worried about whether they was going to have food tonight or whether they was going to go to bed with hunger pains. There's people here every night that go to bed without food. And I know that Cross International are helping to make it happen where that does not have to happen with so many people. And even with all they're doing, and I know they'd love to do a lot more, there's still so many that go to bed hungry and without food, or they eat these clay cookies to take away their hunger pains so they can sleep. So I would just, ask people to think about that as they, think about the blessing that they have of being born where they are and having the opportunity to provide for their families in a way that people here do not have the opportunity.
The clay cookies were just dirt from the streets mixed with contaminated water that they can find anywhere and make a little mud pie, just like some of you listening may remember the Easy Bake Oven, right? Put a little mud in there and bake it.
Yep.
Except they did it to live, to survive. And I'll never forget, guys, just having Emery sharing that moment. But after we'd eaten lunch there at their house, Mary went in the kitchen. She brought out what looked like a tray of cookies, and she put one in front of each of us, and she said, "Don't eat it. It'll make you deathly sick." And that's exactly what it was a clay cookie. And she said, "I give you this so you understand what our kids here in our villages in this community are eating." To just remember the John and Kath, it was on a sister station in San Diego. And I was sharing the story on the air, and the phone rang, and this lady that you're about to hear from was on the other end of the line. Check this out.
When the guy was talking about the kid that eats clay for nighttime so they're so hungry, that guy's talking about me. I was that kid that didn't have nothing to eat, and I would go to sleep with nothing. I grew up there. I left when I was 18. You guys might not know the difference you're making in this kid's life, but I know for a fact that whatever you guys are doing, God will bless you. I was that kid you guys are talking about, and God took me out of there and bring me to this country, and I'm forever grateful. You guys don't know. You guys will make a difference.
You heard her say there she would go to sleep without anything, and she was that child. She was the one, and God brought her out of there into this country, and how grateful she was. Guys, let's not forget the suffering of these little ones. Let's lift them up in Jesus' name and feed them for the next year and walk them through the schoolyard gate to a Christian education, all in your one-time gift of $64 for each one. 3 children, $192 gift. 2 children, $128 gift. How many can you help? Our challenge is for 24 more to be blessed, helped, lifted up, and fed for the next year by the top of the hour. 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977, or John and Kath on the web. They can click the Cross International banner.
Fabulous. Don Lewis from Cross International. I mean, this is a monologue that runs through our minds from the moment we wake up in the morning until we close our eyes in the evening. Food, 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 food. In some way, in some form, in consumption, in thought. Either I'm attracted to it or trying to stay away from it. It's the center point, right, of many of our lives. Food, 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 food. And and we're surrounded by it. We have it in abundance. Imagine not having access to it at all. At all. I mean, forget about food insecurity. Just the complete and total absence of food. That's what we're talking about today. $64 feeds a child for a year. And, oh, by the way, the excellence of a Christian education. That's Cross International. Our job today is to do this. Join us at wordfm.com now.
Dad, why do your toenails look like that?
Hey, it's James, and if you're like me and suffer from toenail fungus, please pay close attention. Let's face it, toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off and hid my ugly toes from everybody. But nail fungus isn't just a cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even a small spot can spread and get worse. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like my fungus would never go away. Then I discovered Crystal Flush, the new and different FDA-registered at-home treatment. This unique two-step system flushes out fungus at its source and reverses damaged nails. Finally, me and thousands of others are free from fungus, and you can be too. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-354-1862. That's 800-354-1862. Eliminate your toe fungus once and for all, guaranteed. Call now, 800-354-1862, or visit crystalflush.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
If you can fix the big stuff, you can fix the small stuff. The Mechanical Services Company has fixed HVAC systems large and small for over 100 years. For fair treatment, expert service, and affordable solutions 24/7, 365. Find them online at tmschvac.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly, all for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
A beautiful day here at All About Golf in Butler, where 14-year-old Jimmy and his dad are on the executive 9-hole course.
He's been practicing all year at All About Golf's driving range, featuring top tracer technology.
Is that a Ping G425 driver Dad just pulled out of their Ping Hoofer golf bag?
Yes, and Jimmy's set of new hybrids was chosen with the help of All About Golf's Ping certified club fitter at the Pro Shop.
That's up and down for par at All About Golf in Butler. Practice, learn, play at allaboutgolf.com.
Plan now to join Word FM Tuesday, August 16th aboard the Gateway Clippers Empress for another fabulous dinner cruise. From 6:30 to 9, relax in the company of fellow believers as you enjoy a fantastic dinner buffet, music, and stunning views of the city skyline. The Ride Home's John and Kathy will be your cruise directors for this amazing night, sponsored by Trinity Jewelers. Don't miss the boat. Last year's event completely sold out. Reserve now at wordfm.com/dinnercruise.
Thanks for being with us. We are super excited. I love this opportunity to talk about kids who need help in this world. In Cross International, this is the vehicle that provides such wonderful, excellent education and food for I'm telling you, the princely sum of just $64 for the full year. Tom Lewis is with us. Tommy, the ask is out there. People are responding, are they not?
They sure are. We still need to reach our half-hour goal, about 21 kids. I wonder, is there one friend that would become our third world changer, giving a $1,000 gift or more? In fact, $1,280 gift is 20 children and is doable for somebody listening. If that's you, would you, sir or ma'am, would you prayerfully consider jumping on with us, helping us finish strong in this half hour, and you're listening? Let me give you the number. It's 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. You might be one of 4 friends right now that could jump in there with a family of 5. Say, Tommy, I can't do the 20, but I could jump in and give a family of 5 gift for a $320 gift. Thank you. You can do that as well. A number of you today giving for 2 and 3 children. And again, if you want to tack on a small gift for our efforts in Ukraine with our partner on the western border of Ukraine, you can do that as well. So thank you, guys. 866-806-2977. We got just a short segment, but I do want to share this verse out of Proverbs chapter 11 in verse 25. It says this: a generous man will prosper. And I'd like to say a generous woman will prosper. He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Amen. Praise God for that. Would you refresh some children right now with food for a year, Christian education, clean water in their villages, other life-saving resources? Again, the number 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. You can use your credit card, or you can jump on the web there at wordfm.com, click on the Cross International banner, and away you go. You can make your gift right there.
Fabulous. Almost 5 o'clock. Somewhere in the world, it's dinner time. Let's ensure that the kids we're talking about today in Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua have a dinner time today. Join us. WordFM.com or 866-806-2977. Cross International.
Listen on your smart speaker at wordfm.com, the Word FM app, iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. In your car or at home, too, at 101.5 WORD-FM, Pittsburgh.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Testifying before Congress today, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said the Fed is determined to raise interest rates high enough to slow inflation while also being cautious about other economic impacts.
The other risk, though, is that we would not manage to restore price stability and that we would allow this high inflation to get entrenched in our economy. And we know from history that will hurt the people we'd like to help, the people in the lower income spectrum.
Speaking to the Senate Banking Committee, the chairman said it is possible to reduce inflation and lower unemployment at the same time. The Biden administration has announced it's providing logistical support to import the equivalent of about 16 million 8-ounce baby formula bottles from Mexico. That starts this weekend as part of efforts to ease a nationwide supply shortage caused by the closure of the largest U.S. manufacturing plant for formula. This is SRN News.
Year after year, it's the same routine. Drop off the taxes, pick up the taxes, leave a check. Maybe it's time to work with a business CPA who is less transactional and more relational. For Mike Radich and the team at MGR CPA and Consultants, it's about more than crunching the numbers. It's about getting the advice you need for complex tax issues and business solutions. It's just a better return. MGR CPA and Consultants. Honesty, integrity, always. At mgrcpa.com.
Windows are us. You've tried the rest, now try the best.
When it's time to replace your roof, siding, gutters, and downspouts, entry doors, and of course windows, you can count on Windows R Us, the area's premier exterior replacement company. This is John Steigerwald. With over 50 years experience in the home remodeling industry, Windows R Us offers repair and replacement for all your exterior home projects. Why pay double with some other companies? Windows R Us will always give you the best price on the best in-class products, backed by the best warranties in the industry, all with zero sales pressure. And speaking of zero, right now get zero interest financing for 12 months and no processing fee with prices set to increase on all exterior products. Lock in your quote today. Schedule a free estimate and inspection today at windowsruspittsburgh.com. You've tried the rest, now try the best. windowsruspittsburgh.com.
Windows are us. You've tried the rest, now try the best.
I've always been kind of cynical towards advertising, which I know doesn't make much sense considering I'm currently recording a commercial. It's all the fluffy words that make us cynical, right? A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a blue light special, but only, of course, if you call right now. It all kind of makes me nauseous, and yet here I am about to say that right now actually might be a once-in-a-lifetime moment for some of us, and that is the opportunity of a cash-out refinance. Arguably never has there been a moment in time like the last few years where home values have jumped at crazy historical levels, leaving all this extra money sitting inside our homes. A cash-out refinance lets you put that extra money in your pocket to use for life. If you'd like to see your options, we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Train up a child in the way they should go. Well, you know the rest. It's a calling you take very seriously as a Christian parent. And Trinity Christian School in Forest Hills seeks to honor your commitment by working together with parents to prepare students who are academically sound and spiritually ready to take their place in the world through a classical approach to education that helps build a faith from which they will never depart. Trinity Christian School, one of the top K-12 schools in Allegheny County, at trinitychristian.net.
Expect a heavy thunderstorm early this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and humid tonight. Watch for flooding on streets and poor drainage areas. Tonight's low 63. Partly sunny tomorrow, not as warm with lower humidity. Tomorrow's high 80. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 58. Mostly sunny Friday. Will reach a high Friday of 28. For Saturday, it'll be warm with sunshine at a high of 88. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
The following program is sponsored by Cross International. Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem-Pittsburgh studios. And now, here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for coming along today. It's a little rainy out there right now.
Yeah, some thunderstorm warnings. If you're experiencing severe weather in the western Pennsylvania area, you're in good company.
How about now, like when severe weather happens, all of a sudden, like, everything around you starts to blow up.
Yeah,
my
like your phone,
my
right,
laptop, all of a sudden, people are calling, are you okay? It's raining? It's raining. We're good. Listen, I woke up this morning to the sound of this crazy. I'm like, what is going on?
What is it, like teletype from like 40 years ago?
I went outside and I stood on my front porch.
Yeah.
The stopped, but then like 2 minutes later, it arrived again in the form of a woodpecker on my porch. Like
in your porch.
On my house. Like there's a hole on my house.
Yeah, we've had a woodpecker for years, but he hasn't been at our house. He's been at the trees around our house. That's not good that he likes your house.
No. So now all of a sudden, like, how many things like are in your, I'm anxious about this. I'm anxious about, now I'm anxious about woodpeckers. How low can we go, ladies and gentlemen? Right. I mean, seriously.
Right.
Now I'm going to do, so what I did, of course, I went online. Woodpecker prevention for your home.
Right.
So,
but if you do something to ameliorate the woodpeckers, then you're going to invite murder hornets. And then really, have you gained anything?
Oh, no. So I had to go online today on Amazon and buy woodpecker tape, which is these long strips of silvery material, like Mylar.
Yeah.
And then you put them on your house.
And they don't like those.
Right, the fluttering of the shiny thing.
Well, that's going to look great.
Fabulous. It's all good.
It's going to look like Mardi Gras on your front porch.
Nice. But at least, the house will still be standing. That's my goal here. Right? Oh, yeah. Hey, what happened to your house? A giant hole, right? It's just one more thing. It's just more anxious stuff in your life.
It really is. I mean, the last thing you want is something else to consider. And yet, each day we seem to I'm glad I brought up the murder hornets, though, right? Because I bet you'd forgotten about those.
I didn't even think about it. Right now, there it is.
I'm just here to help.
Thank you. Tom Lewis is with us. Tommy.
You're going to be a real hit in the neighborhood with all that silver stuff flashing all over.
My hope is I just make them go someplace else down the street. That's all I'm trying to do, right? Yeah, I get streamers. Remember, did you have streamers on your bike?
Oh, yes, I did.
Right, on the handlebars?
Yeah, they were like, mine were kind of like a melon color and silver and white. It was very nice.
The idea was, like, when you were going super fast,
they would go behind you.
Outward,
right. Like I ever went that fast on my bike. I mean, I had a banana seat.
Yeah, you weren't going real fast.
No.
They never really didn't flutter that much.
Right.
But I mean, it's the idea of like, whoa, look at that.
Believe me, I love that.
Ultrasonic streamers flying down. Now I'm just trying to run away from woodpeckers. Keep those things going.
Yeah, but let's take it to the next level. Did you guys ever take a clothespin and clothespin a playing card into your spokes?
A million times, Tommy.
To make it sound like a motor.
Yes, a zillion times.
Never
right?
did that.
I'm surprised you didn't know deep and wide, but boy, you knew the card trick with a clothespin.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, I mean, that's what I was doing. I was out driving around with a clothespin while I should have been doing deep and wide. That was a problem.
That was awesome.
That explains a lot, Tom.
Awesome.
Yeah, the clothespin in the spoke is right, and you thought you were riding a motorcycle. Right?
You felt good about it.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Or how about a balloon? Did you do the balloon in the thing? Right? I mean, you put a balloon back there. Oh, it's a deeper growl.
Really?
It's like going from a Suzuki to a Harley.
We advanced to the Vroom motor.
Oh, the Vroom. Remember that?
Vroom motor.
I remember that as well, Tom. That's that was for rich kids. We'd have that Swiss valve.
Not.
All right, Tom, tell us where we are. Set the stage for us this hour.
All right. So this hour, we want to rescue 60 children. Let's go 30 each half hour.
Okay.
All right. And I'm thinking, literally, guys, I know it sounds like quite a few, but really it is not.
Let's go.
I think of 5 of you that could rescue 3. That's 15 of them right there. All right. Of the 60. So what is it you could do? Another 5 grabbing up 2 children, another couple, 2 or 3 of you becoming world changer gifts of 1,000 or more. And honestly, we're there. We're there. So get in where you fit in. I want to give you the number, and I want to share a scripture with you. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. If you just jumped in the car, you say, hey, how can I help these children there in Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua? A one-time gift, $64, provides food for a full year. And by the way, nutritious, healthy food. Typically a rice and beans meal, sometimes actually pasta noodles and chicken, depending on the feeding site and so forth. But guys, it's literally food for a full year. It is transforming bodies in about 60 to 90 days. Children that are literally skin and bones fill out, their hair goes back to its normal color. I mean, they're healthy, they're smiling, and guess what? They are able to learn. They are able to go to school and focus because their stomach's not growling louder than the teacher, right? So we're just so excited about what this does and the transformation that happens. So 866-806-2977. We all know, I think, the parable of the sheep and the goats that we find in Matthew chapter 25. But I do want to read this because it really is a powerful passage. And I think it applies to us today, guys. And it says, starting in verse 31, when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. Now, already that's a visual, right? That's already a visual. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He'll put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? The king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. But it doesn't end there. It goes on to say, then he will say to those on his left, depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me. They also will answer the Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison and did not help you? He will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me. Then they will go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life. Guys, thank you for bearing with me in that passage, but it is powerful. It is powerful, is it not? And I think sometimes we just take bits and pieces of that passage, but to just lay that out for you so we understand how serious this is according to Scripture. I mean, we all know the needs, right? We all know that kids are starving, they're hungry. We lose some every day from starvation. Kids are sick and they need help medically. Kids need an opportunity to go to school, and we have that opportunity. And we can do all those things. But I believe our deepest motivation in our hearts should come from following Christ. And that's one of those passages that's just so powerful. I urge you to pick up your phone. Don't wait. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. Asking the Lord for 30 kids to be rescued this half hour. And I believe he wants to use you if you're listening. So thank you. 866-806-2977. Hey, John and Kath, they can give right there on the web.
Fabulous. Tommy, when in doubt, when there's fear, anxiety, or when there's good times and exultation, you go to the Scripture. It's the guide. To hear those words as the guide for where we are right now to help those who cannot help themselves, join us.
101.5 WORD. Pittsburgh's favorite Christian music on the weekends.
With the best new music. New music from Jeremy Camp. Getting Started. We the Kingdom. Miracle Power. And Never Known from Irene Rock. Celebrating 20 years of bringing Pittsburgh's favorites and the best new music.
101.5 Word FM on the weekend.
The word around town is that Pittsburgh homeowners are choosing doing it right when it comes to their roofing, siding, and remodeling projects.
That's because since 1984, Doing It Right roofing, siding, remodeling continues to set the bar through clear communication and an installation that's second to none.
Doing It Right employs only the most experienced professionals to install and oversee your project.
They'll stop at nothing to ensure your satisfaction, doing business honestly, taking no money down and no payment until the job is complete.
Doing It Right will ensure that all work is installed to the industry's highest standards. Then back it all up with their lifetime workmanship warranty.
As a prestigious multi-award-winning Owens Corning Platinum contractor, as well as a VSI certified installation contractor, you can't go wrong with Doing It Right.
Mention John and Kathy for a discount off your estimate.
Call 724-NEW-ROOF for a free project evaluation or visit roofingcontractorpittsburgh.com.
Want it done right, call Doing It Right.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-928-3355. That's 1-800-928-3355. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-928-3355. That's 1-800-928-3355.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
If you can fix the big stuff, you can fix the small stuff. The Mechanical Services Company has fixed HVAC systems large and small for over 100 years. For fair treatment, expert service, and affordable solutions 24/7, 365. Find them online at tmschvac.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
Performance that fits
I love that.
the magisterial tone of the song.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Tommy, tell us the story of that. That's really super cool.
Yeah, Divine Shelter School. How'd you like the head schoolmaster there? He was really getting in there.
Yeah.
But the kids, I got to just tell you, this was a school assembly. And when the kids found out we were coming, they got together in this large room, you can tell, and they were singing at the top of their lungs. I mean, it was just amazing, the top of their voices, lifting their hands, how, great thou art, and a lot of great songs. But it was really amazing to watch their faces. Their faces just light up with joy and smiling when they're singing. I don't know if you ever look around in your church, during praise and worship. Some people look like they're in agony,
Right.
I think we'd do better if we smiled a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But these kids, I was like, oh my goodness, they got the joy of the Lord inside. Why? Because they've got a chance. They're in school. They're eating food on a regular basis. They're healthy. They're studying the Bible and memorizing Scripture in that same setting. Kids would come up one after the next and quote Scripture passages, not just a verse or two. I mean, some of them were quoting entire passages. It was amazing to watch. And all of that to say, guys, there's one word that describes it all: transformation. Transformation. I love Gladys Toman. And John, did you have a chance to meet Gladys?
We were at the hospital.
And I thought so. Gladys said something to me one time I'll never forget. She said, Tommy, when you go to shop during the holidays and the bell ringers are outside the department stores or the Walmarts, etc., and people, throw money in the bucket, she said, that's a good thing. That's called charity. But she said, when you give a gift through Cross International and you make that kind of investment, it's transformation. It's transformation. And I've never forgotten that. So, guys, when you call this number I'm about to give you, you are enabling a child to eat for a full year. Yes. You're allowing them that opportunity for a Christian education. Yes. Spirit, soul, and body, total transformation. Man, that should excite you. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. The thing I love most about Cross International, and the reason I have been on board with this dynamic ministry for over 20 years, is because of transformation. They are not a Band-Aid approach to poverty. I mean, there is room for those organizations that do things like food drops and medical drops and all those things. There's a place for that. But guys, what I love most about Cross International is their relationship with, first of all, partners on the ground in 20 nations, that once they are fully vetted, take on the responsibility and do the tough stuff to make sure they reach children and families in their communities that are the most critical need. That's how Cross works. And we come alongside those partners and we say, what do you need in your community? How can we help you? And in this case, there in Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua, food is the number one thing they need right now. It's critical, really critical. A lot of it due to some of the severe weather-related issues they've had. They've had not tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods, and mudslides, and earthquakes, and on and on and on we go. Even in the last year and a half, has just been incredible, the stuff they've had to endure. I was talking to Kenny Woods this morning, and Kenny was with us in Guatemala, and he was seeing photos, images of mudslides in areas that we were in that were just flourishing before. And there were homes and children and all the things, right? Today, nothing but just a thick layer of mud everywhere that wiped out homes and yes, even families and children in a lot of these areas due to the incredible flooding from especially the hurricanes that hit Guatemala 2 weeks apart. Can you imagine that? Imagine the first responders we had when Katrina hit the United States, right? Yeah. We had people taking their trucks and boats and all kinds of supplies and heading down there to help. They have no system of first responders. None. What do they do? And then they get, so one hits and a second one hits 2 weeks apart. Guys literally wreaking havoc on that nation of Guatemala. You know, multiple earthquakes hammering Haiti even in the last year. And you don't hear about it in our news. But destroying homes and families and medical clinics, and yes, even some of the Divine Shelter schools were destroyed and having to be rebuilt. So there is a huge need. I share all of that to say this. Please don't be overwhelmed by the need that's there. Just know that if you can help 1 or 2 or 3 children, it is a huge, huge blessing. Huge blessing. Food for a year, Christian education, spiritual development, some other life-saving resources that are really, really needed right now. 866-806-2977. Now, we want to, wow, look at the clock. This hour, we were hoping to rescue 60 children. I do want to say thank you. I'll give you the number again. It's 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. I want to say thank you to Kevin. Jumped in there with 4 more children, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. There and Elizabeth. So great to hear from you. Mary jumped in there in Pittsburgh, said, I want to rescue 3. That's 7 right there with 2 calls. So we've got a little work to do. We can rescue these remaining 53 real quick with your calls. As many kids as you can help. If it's 1, do not shrink back thinking 1 child doesn't matter. Because we've seen impact in 1 child. In fact, let me tell you, I'll give you the number and then I'm going to tell you the story before we go to our break about the first child ever rescued in Guatemala. 866-806-2777. 866-806-2977. 53 kiddos we'd like to rescue by the end of the show. Does each child matter? Check this out, guys. The first orphan ever discovered and rescued at Hope of Life with Carlos Vargas, his name was Jose. Jose was rescued. He was thrown away like garbage. I'm going to give you the short version of his story, but it's powerful. Jose was rescued, and they literally saved his life. They estimated he was about 8 or 9 months at the time when they rescued him. Now, I'm going to fast forward to where Jose is today. I carry a picture of Jose on my phone, and I've got a picture with him. Jose is 21 years old now. Jose is leading all the rescue teams at Hope of Life every day that go into the mountains and rescue children that have been thrown away. Just like he was. And he's the team leader of all the rescues that happen. How many kids, you guys? That ministry, that one partner, between 3,500 and 4,000 infant children and 1 and 2 year olds every year.
Wow.
And Jose is leading the teams. I urge you to pick up your phone. And guys, can we join Jose and the teams that are rescuing these little ones and help provide the food? Yes, for infant children like that, it's formula, it's other things, but the bottom line is simply this. They get the appropriate food for the right age, you know, all the stuff. We rely on our partners for that, of course. But could we join together and, in a sense, become that rescue team? Right now with Cross International at 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. On average, when a rescue team goes into the mountains, John and Kath, it's 12 to 13 people on a rescue team. And many times they're going for 1 child. 1. And that blows my mind. The rescue I was on, we did rescue twin baby girls. But there were at least a dozen of us, including medical staff and the ministry leadership and Jose and a whole team of folks. The commitment from our partners is the point I'm trying to make. That every life matters. Every child that's been abandoned matters. And so would you stand with us, guys? 866-806-2977. Let's rescue 53 more really quick. And John, Kath, I truly believe with all of my heart someone is listening right now that could give a gift for 50 children. 50. And God wants to use you, my friend. Would you allow him? 866-806-2977. Thank you for what you can do. Thank you for calling. Thank you for going on the web at wordfm.com and making your gift there. As we go to break, say a prayer and then make that call. 866-806-2977.
I remember getting tacos for $0.25 in high school. Today, taking my nieces out for tacos demands $0.25 of a paycheck. Buying gas is a gas. Buying Gatorade takes financial aid. Buying clothes has me watching knitting videos. And I thought about cutting my own hair until I saw the price of safety scissors. It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage, and prices are up everywhere, meaning the pressure is up for a lot of us. One thing that we're seeing a lot of listeners do to try to help is a cash-out refinance. Home values have gone through the roof, meaning most of us could cash out that extra value in our homes to use for life. I had a listener last week that was over the moon with her situation. She said she was going to use the extra cash to pay off all of her debt, do something special for her kids, and then just save the rest to fight these crazy price booms. If you're curious what that might look like for you, we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Mortgage Corp, Melville, New York. MLS number 1330. Department of Banking. Mortgage lender license number 22672.
There has been a lot of conversation lately about what is Christian higher education. What about the institution that you would go to if you were interested in being a believer and having a higher education? It's hard to quantify in some ways.
Yeah, because some people look at it and think it's about going to a school where all of your beliefs that you have when you start the school are just encouraged.
Or reinforced.
Bolstered, reinforced.
Other people will look at higher education, especially Christian higher education, and say, wait a second, I'm there to expand. I need to know more. I want to increase my view of the world and Christ in it. It can be a dangerous, slippery slope, especially politically where we are now.
Yeah. Education, though, is always an adventure. It should be an adventure because it should be taking you out of your comfort zone. It should be exposing you to things that you didn't know and helping you to reevaluate and be more solid in the truth that you already believe in.
Now, we know how the story ends. If you're a believer, you know Christ will reign. We should not be afraid. Look online at Grove City College. Grove City College online, gcc.edu.
Ask Alexa to play the word Pittsburgh to hear us there. We're on your Google speaker, too. Plus iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. 101.5 WORD-FM, Pittsburgh.
Hey, Nicole, gotta run. I'm taking the kids to get their seasonal flu vaccine. My kids have great immune systems and hardly get sick. Well, my doctor says all kids can get flu, even healthy ones. Some even die from it.
Wow, I didn't realize how serious flu could be. I'm going to call about getting my kids vaccinated.
Seasonal influenza is a serious and sometimes deadly disease. Health officials recommend vaccination for all children 6 months through 18 years. Get fluent. Learn the flu facts. Visit PreventChildhoodInfluenza.org.
Expect a heavy thunderstorm early this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and humid tonight. Watch for flooding on streets and poor drainage areas. Tonight's low 63. Partly sunny tomorrow, not as warm with lower humidity. Tomorrow's high 80. Clear skies tomorrow night with a low of 58. Mostly sunny Friday. Will reach a high Friday of 28. For Saturday, it'll be warm with sunshine and a high of 88. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
I'm from Connecticut, and I've lived in Haiti for 19 years. So I know what it's like to be here, and I know what it's like to be there. If you're poor in America, it's tough, but you can find help. There are ways to not die, I think, for the most part, that I've lived through. I was a nurse in a soup kitchen, and I was a nurse in hospitals. And in Haiti, if you're poor and you can't get what you need, there is nothing, and you die. An hour and a half from Miami, children are starving, and it just can't go on. God's watching this, and we have to do something. To whom much is given, much is expected.
You hear that and you think, she's absolutely right.
Yep.
I mean, we have every safety net here, and yet still we end up wanting to do more, which I think is a really healthy reflex of the American person, is we want to do more for more people, and I get that. But every once in a while, isn't it healthy for us to think out of our own circle, out of our own community, out of our own country, and think, you know what, there are people suffering at a much greater capacity and in a myriad of ways, and we could just step in through an organization like Cross International and make a difference today. 866-806-2977. Go online to wordfm.com. That's WORDFM.com. There's a banner right at the top of the homepage, and you can click on and make your gift there. Before we go any further, I want to thank Gail. Gail has called in, and she has made a gift from Bonita Springs, Florida.
Nice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Gail, I'm guessing it's actually more humid in Bonita Springs, Florida than it is here today in Pittsburgh, but it would be a race.
Right. There might be some water nearby there.
Exactly.
Right. And not the Three Rivers.
Right. Which is where we don't want to jump in. Anyway, Gail, thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Let me give you the number. God bless you guys for calling. Hey, we have a dozen of the 60 we want to rescue this hour so far.
Fabulous.
866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. WordFM.com is another great way to give. John, thank you in Mars. Thank you for checking in for 3 more children right there, guys. Way to go. God bless you. And that 3-child gift is $192. A number of you could probably join John right now and help us finish up the remaining 48 children that we need for this hour, just to kind of keep us on track. So thank you again. WordFM.com is a great way to give. You can make your gift there. And by the way, include your prayer request. We see a lot of those coming in, and so thank you. We do pray as a team, as a staff, over all of these prayer requests specifically. So if you do have one, please include it. WordFM.com or 866-806-2977. John, Kath, I love sharing the story of Go Naive and our partner there, Emery and Mary, and just it was so moving on one of our trips when we were working alongside them, and we brought hot food out to a rural area, and they did tell us there were going to be a lot of children. We just had no clue how many. And we pulled in, and like I've shared before, there literally was probably 300 or 400 kids. And the reason they never knew how many kids, because word gets around, right? Word travels. And so kids are talking, saying, hey, we got hot food over here. And so every day they'd show up, they'd bring as much food as they could, but they knew in advance they were not going to be able to feed all the kids that were there. And so they told us, don't get discouraged. This is what we have to deal with every day. We'll come back tomorrow, we'll feed the ones that we missed today, so forth and so on. So we set up the food in this little feeding line. And I remember so vividly how the kids that were there lined up. And they lined up seemingly from youngest to oldest. You would not see that in your school lunchroom. Let's just say it. I mean, it was amazing. But they lined up seemingly from youngest to oldest, and as they came through and we served each one, indeed we ran out of food. There was a little boy standing at the door. He was next. We were down to food for one, and Mary said, Tommy, I got food for one. I reached for his hand to bring him in, and guys, he pulled away from me and let another child in ahead of him.
Nice.
and he sacrificed. It was an incredible moment. Right now, there are 48 more kiddos behind the door, John and Kath. As we go to break, could we feed and clothe and bring clean water and Christian education to all 48 of these before the end of the hour, please?
Wow. It's a goal. I think we can do it. I mean, we've had like hills and valleys as far as momentum goes. So let's kind of get up and make this a hill. So give us a call at 866-806-2977.
Yep.
We're not asking you to give to a sad organization or a sad situation. We're actually asking you to get on a moving train. This is an organization that brings life and joy and hope to people. And we want to invite you into that life, joy, and hope. So do something today that makes a difference. 866-806-2977, $64. That's a one-time gift. Or if you want to give in multiples, 2 kids, $128, 4 kids, $256, or give to support 100 kids, $6,400, whatever it is that you can afford. Call us now.
101.5 WORD.
Turning Point with David Jeremiah.
When you do life the way the owner's manual tells you to do life, you will be glad you read the manual, because it will save you from so much grief and so much heartache and give you such joy as you walk with the Lord.
Dr. David Jeremiah continues his series, The Word, next time on Turning Point.
This evening at 7:30 on 101.5 WORD.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-57-BIBLE. That's 844-57-BIBLE. 844-57-BIBLE.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred for all mechanical systems, heating and air. Our team has got you covered. Maintenance, service, installs, and repair. Call us when you need comfort. Online at tmschvac.com. The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
I think what excites them the most is that their children are happy.
Cara Bell, principal at Jubilee Christian School in Mount Lebanon.
When the children come into school, they love it. And oftentimes they're super excited when they leave because they don't want to leave. You know, it's always, bye, Mrs. Bell, see you tomorrow. I mean, they're just always happy. And I think that makes parents happy. You want to see your children have a passion for education. We want them to enjoy learning.
Imagine, believe, achieve. Jubilee Christian School, K through 7th grade, now enrolling for the fall at jubileecs.org. Plan now to join Word FM Tuesday, August 16th aboard the Gateway Clippers Empress for another fabulous dinner cruise. From 6:30 to 9, relax in the company of fellow believers as you enjoy a fantastic dinner buffet, music, and stunning views of the city skyline. The Ride Home's John and Kathy will be your cruise directors for this amazing night, sponsored by Trinity Jewelers. Don't miss the boat. Last year's event completely sold out. Reserve now at wordfm.com/dinnercruise.
Hey, thanks for being with us. We're excited. Tom Lewis is with us from Cross International. We've been talking about rescuing kids all day long for the princely sum of just $64 to feed a child for the full year, to put the child in a quality Christian school, a Christian education for a full year. That's $64. Now, people have joined us at 2 kids for $128. Some people said, I can do 5 kids at $320. Some people said, I can do 10 children at $640. Now, Tommy's been talking about this world changer gift, $1,000 or more. We know people have done this in the past. Maybe that's you. Maybe you have that extra margin in your life right now. We're looking at 50 kids. Can you do 50 kids for $3,000 plus or 100 kids for $6,000? Wherever it is. 1 child, 2 child, 10 children, 50 kids, 100 kids. Please join us right now at 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. And Tommy, as always, I don't want to ignore the elephant in the room, of course, which is inflation. People are going, hey, man, I'm having a hard time filling up my gas tank and feeding things. We're not asking you, to go into some sort of despair over this. If you can, if you feel the calling, please do this. If not, hey, we're grateful for your time here, for your prayers, for the continued success of this ministry, for children who are being able to have this new, fresh start, for all that. But the truth is, we get the idea of inflation. So thank you for being part of this broadcast family, and especially for your involvement here to lift up these children who are in the direst of needs for food and education. But won't you call us at 866-806-2977 or online at wordfm.com. Tommy?
All right, so 17 along the way, guys. Thank you. We're making progress toward the 60 we want to rescue this hour. Paul, I want to thank you in Verona, checking in with a $200 gift, says, you know what, I can help 3 kids and add a little bit for Ukraine. Lois, thank you in Pittsburgh. She's jumping in with 2 more kids, so that's how it's going to get done, guys. Thank you. And if you want to add on an additional gift, in fact, I love that gift of $200. I love that gift of a couple $100. It saves the lives of 3 kids.
Yep. And
you also are contributing some effort toward our family rescue packs there in Ukraine. So if you could do that, $200, wow. Awesome. It would only take, guys, listen, we have 17 kids rescued of the 60. Check my math, but I think that gets it down to 43 remaining. All right? It's only going to take a handful of you stepping up with 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 children at 866-806-2977. And we've got about 15 minutes left in the hour, so plenty of time. 866-806-2977 or on the web, wordfm.com. I love sharing the story of Nika and John and Kathy. You've heard me share the story, but it is a powerful, powerful story of one of our nurses there in Haiti on her way to the clinic, walked by this massive garbage dump, and she was praying, and she really felt the Lord laid on her heart to walk into the dump, which was really weird. She said, I passed this dump for 10 years. Nothing like this has ever happened. And so she followed that inkling, the Holy Spirit leading, and walked in. She didn't know what she was supposed to see or do or encounter, but she began to pray. She got in there, and as she's praying, the garbage nearby began to move. And it kind of scared her. She wasn't sure, if it was an animal, a rodent, or what. She walks over to where it was kind of stirring. She nudges it with her foot, carefully, of course. Some of you ladies listening are kind of freaking out. I'm telling you, I'm a guy, I'd probably freak out. And she goes over there and she nudges it again, and nothing happens. She reaches down with her bare hands and sifts the garbage carefully. And there she found a baby girl that had been thrown away, barely alive. Just moving a little bit. She grabs her up, ran to her clinic, and they saved her life. That little girl today is thriving. When I got to hold her, she was 3. Her name is Nika. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little girl. And when this nurse was sharing this story with me, I was just staring at Nika thinking, wow. And to think, had she not followed the leading of the Holy Spirit that day, this little girl would not be in my arms. But because she listened to the Lord and did what the Lord laid on her heart to do and didn't just walk by, this little girl's life was saved. Some of you are already ahead of me. That's the impact. That's the power of the story, that we get so busy and we think, no, Lord, you're not speaking to me. You don't want to use me. Surely you don't want me to give for 3 kids or 1 kid or 100 kids. Surely not. I'm busy. I got stuff going on. Oh, and by the way, I got to make rent at the end of the month. Surely you're not speaking to me about this, Lord. But he is. He is. And sometimes we just get busy, and we get it. All of us have busy days, guys. But I'm going to ask you in this moment to prioritize 2 minutes of your God-given time and pick up that cell phone. That is an incredible tool that God has given us. And make a call that's going to impact children for the rest of their life and, in fact, for all of eternity. Make that call right now to Cross International. And your best gift for the most kids you can. And friend, if you're listening in New Kensington, if that's 1 child, thank you. If you're listening in Pittsburgh and you can make that gift, as Kathy shared, for 100 kids, do it. Do it. If you want to give your gift and remain anonymous, that's awesome. Let the operator know, or include it in your web gift in the notes, and we'll see it. We love saying thank you with your first name and your community. But if you just don't want anything on the air, you say, I'm happy to give, then let us know. 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. With Cross International this year, guys, our heartbeat is to rescue more kids than ever this year. And as a Christian, you know the day and time we're living in. Man, it's tough out there. It's tough, and we know that. But let's not forget the struggle and the challenges these little ones face and their families. And we can help, even a little bit. 866-806-2977. You can use your credit card. WordFM.com is a great way to give and include your comments, your prayer requests there as well. So, John and Kath, we've got 43 more that we'd like to rescue here by the top of the hour.
43 to go. Here it is. It's 5:50. So our clock
close.
is ticking here. If you're within the sound of our voice, won't you please join us and dial 866-806-2977, 866-806-2977. And the truth is this. You know this is true, that we think that we're giving someone a blessing. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, the blessing
it's
comes
back to us.
Right? And I'm not saying, this is the prosperity gospel. I'm just saying by giving good,
right,
by helping those, right? The gift is already in front of you. The whole process is just stuff full of love and grace and joy. That's the invitation today. So please join us, 866-806-2977. We need to step away, but won't you join us right now? Prayerfully consider this, the excellence of this ministry, Cross International, and join us. WordFM.com or 866-806-2977.
Turkey and stuffing, real mashed potatoes, sliced top round, Aunt Emma's broccoli casserole, chicken and gravy over buttermilk biscuits. Am I making you hungry yet? Hi, it's me, Marcia from the Springhouse. Do you have a special event coming up in your life? A shower, a wedding, graduation party, company party, anniversary event, or any occasion where you'd love to serve all-natural, farm-fresh foods? Then it's time to give the Springhouse Catering Department a call at 724-228-3339. From your first conversation with Dawn, who will help you create a menu that's unique to you, to the beautiful, bounteous setup and display that my sister Jill and her crew create, you will be delighted. After every catering event, Jill tells our cooks, I wish I could take you with me so you could hear all the wonderful comments guests give us. Give us a call at 724-228-3339 or check out our extensive menu at springhousemarket.com for farm fresh catering from the Springhouse.
I love seeing the transformation of a smile.
There's a reason patients love Dr. Megan Stock, voted Pittsburgh Trib's Best of the Best dentist in Northern Allegheny County for the second year in a row.
You don't have to do full mouth rehabilitation to really transform a patient's life. For a patient to be able to smile confidently and be happy with their own smile.
Exceptional dentistry meets compassionate care. Stock Family Dentistry, Perry Highway in Wexford, at stockfamilydentistry.com.
The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred for all mechanical systems, heating and air. Our team has got you covered. Maintenance, service, installs, and repair. Call us when you need comfort. Online at tmschvac.com. The Mechanical Services Company. Trusted, proven, preferred.
Hi, I'm John Henney from Henney Jewelers. Since 1887, my family has helped people celebrate the most memorable moments in their lives. We are rooted in faith and commit to doing the right thing again and again. We believe in the covenant of marriage and use our To Have and To Hold program to encourage couples as they prepare to spend the rest of their lives together. Please stop into our Shadyside store to learn more or visit HenneyJewelers.com. Henney Jewelers, your jewelers for life.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
We are everywhere on your radio at 101.5 WORD FM Pittsburgh, at wordfm.com, the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
Yeah, there was a child, 3 years old. I remember when I was getting to the house, the mother was crying, and all she was saying was, where was God when I needed him? Where were the people that talk about love when I needed them? When I went into the house, she had a 3-year-old dead in her hands. I cried with her, and I didn't know what to tell her. At the end, I told her, God has been in the right place in his kingdom. Where was I when you needed me? That will be the question. To that mother, I told her, I'm sorry, I arrived too late. So that's why it's very important, more people to get involved, so we don't hear a mother crying because she lost a child.
I love that. More people to get involved. Yeah. That's what we're looking for today. Tom, tell us where we are.
Well, we've got some thank you.
Great.
We've got to get out there, and we're running out of time in the hour. Lois, thank you in Pittsburgh. She said, I want to rescue 2. And Mary in Export said, I want to jump in there, and I want to rescue 3 kids. Thank you. So thank you for that. Michelle, thank you for your call. I hope you got your information there. Thank you for calling us. I want to say thank you to Lois again in Pittsburgh. Then Paul checked in from Verona. 3 children. Christopher in Newcastle. Another child rescue. Patricia in Fayette City. Wow. Thank you. 3 more children, and all of these friends sharing prayer requests and all kinds of great information. So, guys, please know that we're going to be lifting up all those prayer requests that we're seeing here, specifically with the staff and team at Cross International. So we've got just moments left. We just added about 7 more children.
Awesome.
So thank you, guys. We're down to about 36. If we can rescue 36 real quick, we'd meet this hour's need at 866-806-2977. 866-806-2977. The one thing I want to identify with you guys real quick is simply this. When we set out these goals, I like to call them needs, because these are children that are actually identified and families identified with our partners on the ground. So we don't just pull out some ambiguous number. Every child has a name. We know where they live. We know where their family is, if they even have a family. And so we know the specific children, guys, that are going to be helped. That's what's so amazing about our partnerships with our ministry leaders on the ground in these nations of Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua, in fact, all the nations where Cross is working. This is how we operate. So please pick up your phone. There's a child waiting on you. 866-806-2977.
We're going to leave the air here in a little bit. And, of course, as we leave the air, we're going to go home and we're going to sit down and enjoy dinner with our family. And we hope that in your near future, you'll do the same. But as we do, as you go into your refrigerator this evening or look in your kitchen cupboards, wherever it is, you're going to have a meal. Please consider these children, these families we've been talking about today. Prayerfully consider where they are in their lives. And this is not about guilt at all. This is just about a felt need in people's lives that they themselves will be able to have a meal today and tomorrow as well. That's why Cross is here, to raise this awareness and to ensure that children, families are fed together in the name of Christ. So thank you. We always appreciate your time here with us. Thanks for Cross. Have yourself a great night, and God willing, we'll see you tomorrow.
The Ride Home with John and Kathy, a production of Salem Media Group.
This is Carol Platt-Liebau for townhall.com. As an anxious